What's up, guys? Welcome to another video of Dev Talks with your host Travian, where we talk about everything engineering and technology wise. This video, we're going to dive into a new app that Apple introduced, and it's for invites. And we're going to just figure out what it's more about and just dive right into it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I really appreciate it all. And let's dive in and see what they have to say.
Apple has a new app for sending out party invitations. Even though the world already has plenty of party invite apps, yeah, Apple's crashing the party invite party with its own spin on the tool. I have tested the app for a bit, and there are cute features, but also you might run into some little hiccups that could be weird to your guests. So I invite you to watch this video before you start spamming your friends with event links. Yes, there is one more app to download this week. Your favorite Apple show host has tips for you on making Apple invites and some advice on if you're sending it to people without Apple accounts. I'm Bridget Carey, and this is One More Thing. For starters, not everyone can make an Apple invite. Sorry to be a party pooper right at the start, but it requires an iCloud Plus account. And iCloud Plus is when you pay monthly for iCloud storage that goes.
Okay, starting off, we are going bad. On a whole perspective of, hey, we need to get more users to use something like this is bad. This is actually terrible to start off in this way. And I say it's terrible in this way because you're locking this app from many users. A bunch of users probably want to be able to use this for free, and the more usability and the more people you get to test this app out, the better. Being able to, I have more questions like, so can somebody, because obviously she said, what if you send an invite to somebody that doesn't have an Apple device? So I'm assuming everybody can get an invite, but not everybody can create invites this way. You want to be able to increase your social spectrum with all of this. You don't want to limit it to a few things. You just don't want that. That's not something that you want to do, especially if you have a new app that's launching. I get Apple probably feels they have a bunch of users that already pay for iCloud storage or pay for iCloud Plus and things like that. But what about all those users who don't use it? And saying that's a big flaw that I would say already on this app that doesn't make sense. And we're just getting into it, but let's just continue on and see what else there is to it.
Beyond the basic 5 gigs of free storage. Apple likes to throw in perks if you pay for iCloud Plus, and the ability to make unlimited Apple invites is now one of those perks. So yeah, Apple is probably hoping to drive more subscriptions to iCloud Plus. This new tool is also Apple's way of giving more love to its own calendar app. But you don't need an Apple account to RSVP to an event or see the event details. You don't have to worry if guests have Android phones. They just interact with the invitation on a website if they don't get the app. What makes an Apple invite interesting is that it ties into a lot of Apple services like Apple Maps and Weather, along with shared photo albums and music playlists. And for the graphics, you can pull from your own photos, use some of their basic templates, or get fancy with Apple Intelligence and make art with Image Playground. So let's say you're throwing a get-together for the big sports ball thing that's happening, and you want to make an invite with Apple's AI. You better specify, though, that it's American football. Yeah, that's better. Put in the event location and it gives you the weather and the map to the event. You throw in some details and that's all there really is to it. But after messing around with it a bit, I learned a few lessons in the sharing process. So here are 5 tips to know before sending out an Apple invite. First off.
So I actually think the customization is phenomenal. Having the app integrate with all of your features and things along that line, it is awesome. It's perfect to have stuff like that. The more usability with all your features with Apple already, the better. Being able to connect to your calendars, be able to, hey, this is the playlist we're jamming at the party, so people can see what kind of music is going to be playing. Being able to give the location, it already being connected to the maps in that sense, and everybody gets the location at that time, getting a list of people who are there. It's kind of fun. It's a lot more fun to use than those generic invite things. These are all things that I think that are actually a big plus, but the big minus so far is still not everybody being able to send these out on its own. So I think it should come mandatory to everybody who has an Apple device. and then they want to make sure it's seamless and easy for people with Androids as well too. That's something that Android does way better than Apple, is being able to work from Android to Apple rather than Apple working to Android is very bad when Apple tries to work backwards to that or work towards the other team. So Android does good on that, but Apple lacks in that. But let's see on how to get more invites and stuff, because I'm actually curious on how we're going to use this app as well too in the different ways you could.
You can change your display name for each event, no matter if you are a host or a guest. Maybe I'm Bridget Carey for some parties, but I'm Aunt Bridget to some family. And if my kids get a birthday party invite from their classmate, I could put my kid's first name as the RSVP, or put both of our names to make it easier on folks keeping track of who is coming. But you can be as private and mysterious as you want here for the display name. Number 2, the party host sees everyone's email. If you RSVP, you have to either put in your Apple ID address or another real email address of some kind and enter a verification code to prove it is really your email. Guests cannot see the email of other guests. You cannot message other guests. If you have a question, you can see the email of the party host, but it's kind of annoying to email someone because you can't select or copy an email address.
That's another minus that they have to kink out. They got so obviously with new technology and new apps, there's a bunch of kinks that you have to kick out and kind of like really work into. So this is one, you want to be able to connect with the host in a more efficient way. You want to be able to just tap their email. Hey, it connects to the email app. It creates a draft, and now you can send the host the email, or tap the number and you can send the host their number. You should be able to have more possibilities on how you're going to interact, whether it's through your phone number or email address. You should be able to do either or, and you should be able to contact the host a lot easier and just click the thing and be able to go straight to your messages or straight to your email. I know it's possible for them to do something like this. They should try to figure it out and do that. So that's another. I will rate based on first impressions. So far, I'm giving the app about a 5 just because of the lack of certain features and things like that. It's a cool concept, but so far, I'm giving it a 5 out of 10 just to be completely sure so people know where I stand on that. But that's another minus right there. I do like the fact that you can't look at the contact information of everybody else. It makes sense. You're not sending the invites out. Why do you need to message other people on the invite thing? Really, unless the host can, you can contact the host to get their information if it's really that big of a deal. Honestly.
I hope they do fix that in an update because I don't really want to awkwardly try to memorize and manually type in emails if I need to reach out to a host with a question. Number 3, when you RSVP, you can leave a little sweet note and everyone sees your note. The host cannot reply to you, and the host cannot hide your message. So it could be awkward if you send something personal in the reply. Don't make it weird. Replying to an RSVP is not a place to ask party questions, even though that's the first thing everyone was doing in my tests. But if you mess up, you can change your message right away. Number 4, let's say you are hosting and you're ready to share the invite. You can keep this party locked down tight or you can make the link open. There's even freedom to let people add guests or invite others. Now, if you want something more open, you can make a general link to the invite and share it to a group chat. Say maybe your kid had a birthday and you are sending a single party invite to all of the class parents at once, then whoever wants to go just RSVPs. If you want, you can also send it as personal links to individuals. But if you send it in more than one way, you might get a person showing up twice in your invite list. For example, here, we want Scott in our party, but no one wants 2 Scotts. So a host would need to clean that up. Also, if you send personalized invitations, other guests can see who else you invited that did not respond yet.
That's crazy. That's another thing that needs to get worked out, obviously. That they're really working on. I do like the fact that you can see guests can send notes on particular things. It just gives some type of communication, or it's whatever fun. The group message send out, that seems pretty decent and cool. The duplicate people, that's another minus. This is why I'm still hovering at a 5 out of 10 here, maybe a 6, just slightly, due to there was one thing. It was something to do with the guest replies and sharing it out to a bunch of people. in the group chat, and it just mass links it. I forget, but let's continue.
And finally, a few tips for the whole guest bonding collaboration fun stuff. I use Apple Music, and I like how you can make a shared playlist for anyone to add songs to for the party. Now, if you collab on a playlist, that means everyone invited can collab. And if you want to stop folks from adding songs, you have to go into Apple Music's app to turn.
That's what I remember now. The part that I would say would push it to a 6 was the allowing people to add 2 guests, 3 guests, how many people are coming with them, to be able to block that off so it was only a certain number. I like this collab portion with the music. And you can either set it to strict, or you can have people add type of music that they want to have in here, some suggestions, and you guys can all go through it. All the collaboration stuff I like. Gets me to a 6, but really it's like a 5.9. It's really close, but I'm gonna just give them a 6 so far.
Off collaboration. If the guest does not have Apple Music, they can still see the playlist, so that's pretty cool. Apple Invites also let you create a shared photo album so people can upload photos from the party to look back on later. But you need to make an iCloud account to participate, to add photos. And when my Android friend went to make one, it said he needed to use the same email that was used for his invitation, or else the host has to invite them again, and basically don't count on your non-tech savvy guests even bothering with all of that. If you already pay for iCloud storage and you have a phone with Apple Intelligence and Image Playground, you might get a kick out of using Apple Invites, so go ahead and download it. But there are so many other ways to send a modern event invite. A lot of folks like.
So that's pretty much everything that they give on this new app. From the looks of it, they have a lot of kinks to work out. The kinks to work out aren't major breaking things. If it's only Apple people, you're probably not experiencing too crazy stuff. A lot of people already have a lot of these tools and whatnot, but some people don't. So we're gonna run into issues and stuff when it comes to that, especially with the photo album stuff. I like the photo album. Hey, people could take pictures during there, and it just gives everybody an album of the event. Dope idea. Hurts Android people. This is part that Apple always struggles with. I hope they get better with it. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. I like to hear your takes, anything you have to say about it and whatnot. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I really appreciate it all. Thank you all so much. It means a lot to me. And if you want to see more videos like this, click the video that pops up right about now. Peace. See y'all next time. Enjoy.